So you blocked them, unfollowed, muted, maybe even gave your friends a TED Talk about how you're done for good. Congrats! Healing achieved! Until the ex you swore you'd never speak to again sends you that text. And now you're lying to your friends like, it's just closure. Sure, closure at 2:07 a.m. with your pride thrown out of the window, ready to risk it all over a simple text. For the one who turned your brain into mashed potatoes and your standards into suggestions, here's the actual truth. You're not weak. You're just chemically hijacked. Your brain is still high on a love drug that it hasn't yet detoxed from. 99% of people go back to their ex. And no, it's not because they're the one. It's because they're familiar, and loneliness is lazy. No worries though, this is a judgment-free zone. This video is not meant to shame you, but it is here to call you out, and maybe even to save you from your own self. Let's get into it. Reason 1, the nostalgia trap. Post-breakup life simply is not fun. It's kind of like a person-specific haunted house. And the ghosts? Oh, those are in your phone gallery, your playlist, even your shampoo aisle. You try to move on. Delete the photos, block the number, maybe even go outside and function like a normal human being. And then boom, their perfume hits you while you're minding your own business at Walgreens. Now in a random Walgreens at aisle 5, you're spiraling, asking the universe for a sign. Even the messiest of relationships can start to feel weirdly safe. Why? Because they're familiar. You knew when to expect the cold shoulder. You kinda had the cheat sheet for their moods. Familiarity becomes comfort, even if it isn't joy. And sorry to break this to you, but your brain doesn't care if you're happy. It cares if you're safe. Your brain just wants to avoid danger. And ironically, your emotionally unavailable ex does not count as danger, because at least they were predictable. Our amygdala is to blame for this. That little almond-shaped part of your brain is basically your emotional bodyguard. The amygdala scans for danger, locks in emotional memories, and rings the alarm anytime something feels threatening. And with your brain's outdated software, predictability feels like safety, even if that safety comes along with a side of crying on the bathroom floor at 2 a.m. That is not romance. That's just your amygdala doing the equivalent of saying, "Did you die though? Let's do that again." Reason 2, the love drug. You're definitely not being too emotional. You're literally going through withdrawal. Love messes with your brain's chemistry. Not metaphorically either, literally. Dr. Helen Fisher, a biological anthropologist, found that the parts of your brain that light up when you're in love are the same ones that go nuts on cocaine. So congrats! You weren't just in a relationship, you were basically on a drug binge. And now you're off the ride. Cold turkey. One minute you're swimming in dopamine, and the next minute you're pacing around staring at your phone half a second away from texting, "Hey," like that totally won't blow up in your face again. Let's just call it what it is. You're not missing them, you're missing the high. That sweet, sweet rush of connection and comfort. The brain doesn't care if it was toxic, inconsistent, or left you crying over voice notes that they never listened to. The brain just wants that hit. You feel foggy, anxious. Your chest feels weird. Appetite? Gone. Sleep? Nah. That's not heartbreak. That's classic withdrawal symptoms. So before you spiral into your ex's Instagram story, ask yourself this: do I actually miss them? Or do I just miss the chemical chaos that they gave me? Reason 3, the loneliness shortcut. Loneliness makes people stupid. Harsh but true. You start looking at your phone like your phone's gonna text you first. And suddenly your ex starts looking like a missed opportunity instead of a disaster with good cheekbones. Here's what's happening. When you feel isolated, your brain doesn't go, "Hey, let's hold out for a healthy connection." Nah, it panics. It shortcuts straight to the last person who gave you any kind of connection, even if that person also gave you trust issues. That's why, after a rough week, when your friends are all busy and your dog won't stop looking at you like a therapist, you start thinking, maybe they weren't that bad. But they were that bad. You just forgot. A 2020 study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that people are way more likely to romanticize an ex when they're lonely. Shocker. So now your brain pulls up the highlight reel, and not the part where they ghosted you for 2 days, the part where they bought you fries that one time. That ain't love, amigo, that's emotional convenience. You're not texting because they're the one. You're texting because you're bored and sad and your brain's trying to cast the same actor in a movie that already flopped. You don't need your ex. You need a snack, a nap, and someone in your life who'll slap the phone out of your hand when you get that 2 a.m. nostalgic itch. Reason 4, the unfinished story syndrome. You ever binge a show and then get to the finale and then they just cut to black with no explanation? That's what a messy breakup with no closure feels like. Our brains hate that. Our brains want an ending, even if it's a bad one. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect. It means your brain holds on to incomplete stories like a dog with a bone. You didn't get the answers you wanted, so your mind keeps spiraling the drain. You start thinking, if I go back, maybe we'll finally talk. Maybe they'll explain why they ghosted me right after saying they loved me. Maybe I'll get some kind of peace. You're not plotting a reunion. You're really writing a cringe fanfiction in hopes that a sequel will fix the trash ending. Going back to the person who hurt you almost never brings any clarity. It just reopens the same wound. A 2021 study from the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology found that people who chase closure by reconnecting usually just feel worse. Because the other person, they haven't grown. They're still allergic to accountability. Some stories don't get a rewrite, and that kind of sucks. But dragging yourself through reruns won't give you peace. It will just keep you stuck in someone else's mess. You don't need another conversation. You need one final decision. Because sometimes the most mature thing you can do is walk away without the ending you wanted and give yourself the peace that you actually deserve. So, yeah, 99% of people go back. Not because they're weak, but because the brain is lazy. It craves comfort over clarity, and it craves shortcuts over healing. And here's the part that they don't tell you. You don't have to be the 99%. You can be the 1%. The one who does not send the, "Hey, just checking in" text. The one who doesn't let loneliness trick them into romanticizing a circus of red flags. The one who chooses peace over chaos, chooses growth over deja vu. Being the 1% isn't about being cold, it's about being clear. Clear on who you are, clear on what you deserve, clear on the fact that healing does not come from rewinding. Healing instead comes from walking forward, even if you're just limping at first. So yeah, maybe your brain wants comfort, but you want freedom. And the moment you choose that, you've already made it. Welcome to the 1%. And hey, if you want to understand maybe why most couples fall apart in the first place, not the fairy tale version, the real messy, unfiltered truth, watch this video right here. Thanks for watching this video today. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already.